let me get right to the point. I don't offer my best packs for anyone. Hey, big spender!
Hello everyone, I'm Mrs. Midnight and welcome to the second part of our guide of how to spend money in Hogwarts Mystery, where we will learn to optimize our purchases in our favorite game. In case you missed out on the first part, I'll leave you the link on the description so you can check it out before seeing the second half. But without further ado, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because we're about to begin the second part of our guide to make the most out of our money in our favorite mobile game. With coins and gems, buy as many as you need in one exhibition. If you only need 100, then fine, buy the smaller packages, no problem. But if you're going to need about 500, it's better for you to buy the next package that has 575, so that you make this investment once, instead of buying the 100 gems package 5 times. I know there seems to be no difference about it, but first of all, even if it's small, the unitary value does reduce the more amount of items you get. And second of all, the larger purchases are more total. When it comes to the smaller ones, it's very easy to do them impulsively because they are small, you don't feel them in the moment. But they add up and they can cause you economic problems for something that, again, it's not important, but it should be for fun and not end up causing you more stress.
Rebecca, you just got a credit card bill of $900. You do not need a scarf.
Or Hogwarts Mystery items.
Then again,
know yourself as a buyer. If you buy coins, gems, or something else regularly, it's important for you to define a budget of how much you can spend a month or a year, however you prefer, but how much you can spend without damaging your finances. And if you are in the possibility of making one large investment for the whole year and manage your items until next year, that can be more profitable in the long run than making small purchases every month. If on the contrary you're more sporadic, in your case in every occasion that you purchase, you're going to need to define a budget like we discussed in point 1. And since you are an sporadic buyer, it's important for you to not purchase more than you need for the event in specific that you're investing for, because you don't know if that's going to pay off in the long run. It's okay for you to buy a couple items like gems and coins for you to help yourself on the events, but especially on the community ones, try to not do it excessively, turning them into a pay-to-win, because remember that by doing this, you do not only damage your wallet, your finances, but you also ruin the fun for everyone.
No, people, let's be smart and bring it off.
Now the gamer that courses is going to preach us. Of course not, but I do think that besides keeping the community healthy in the game that we all love, it's also important to recognize that turning the events into a pay-to-win is a real danger, because it's very easy to lose sight of things and forget to put things in proportion and not fall in consumerism. To manage your finances and not go bankrupt, something very practical that you can do is organize your expenses in level of priority. Level 1 for the most urgent expenses like emergencies, for example. Number 2 for necessary expenses like the rent, food, services, and what have you. Number 3 for the ones, maybe you want to buy some clothing, maybe a gaming console, I don't know. And number 4 for the whims and more sporadic ones that of course have their place as well, like microtransactions in games. And there's even a metaphor that if you have a jar and you fill it first with medium-sized rocks representing the urgent expenses, then with smaller-sized rocks representing the necessary expenses, then with sand in between the holes of the rocks representing the wants, the things that you desire to buy, and in the end with coffee representing the whims and impulsive shopping, everything fits perfectly. But of course, if you do it the other way around, first coffee and then on top of that you intend to add sand and rocks, it's obviously going to go overboard and start dripping. So when it comes to finances and buying whatever you want, including microtransactions in games, it's all possible, and it's not about saying that it's wrong or demonizing it, because I'm the least indicated to do this, having done it myself. But it's important for you to make these investments, planning them accordingly, so that it's an investment that's worth it for you and not a stressor in the future. And say hi to Mr. Midnight that's in the take with us.
Hello.
It's not that it's not valid to want to make these investments every now and then, or even for it to be important for you to make them to advance in the game. But what is important is to not lose sight of the fact that no matter how important it is to us, it's not a first necessity item that justifies using money that you needed for something else. And as the last tip of the guide, if you're going to do microtransactions in the game, please, I beg of you, link your game to your Facebook account. Because if for whatever reason you cannot access your game because it crashed, because there was an update, a bug or whatever, if it is not linked to your Facebook account, you're not going to be able to recover it, and that means losing your progress, and most importantly, losing all the money that you invested. And I really don't want to tell you how pissed you're going to be if that happens. Given how the game works with the energy that it finishes super fast and you have to refill it and wait for hours just to complete one task sometimes, you can easily spend months or even years playing. Look at me, I play since 2018. Imagine all the stories unlocked, all the collectibles unlocked, all the investments made, that I would definitely not like to be in them. If you like this guide, don't forget to leave me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and click on the bell so YouTube lets you know when I upload the next video. And if you have friends that are big spenders and constantly make purchases in the game, share this video with them so they make the most out of those investments. Mrs. Midnight loves you and hopes to see you next time. Mischief managed. And before I forget, special thank you to Mr. Midnight, because thanks to him that he called me this morning, I woke up on time to record this video.
Yay!
Definitely without him, this video wouldn't be ready yet.